Alrighty, Assalamu alaikum, folks. This is Islamic Khalif here. Volunteers, ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. For those of you just joining us right now, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon to those on the east side. GM, good morning to all those tuning in from the west side. It's 1 p.m. right now, Eastern Standard Time right now. You're watching PR Project Recharge. Give it up. I'm Brother Shahan Nadeem, the volunteer coordinator for the Southeast region. Speaking of Southeast, y'all, hope y'all staying safe right now, as well as to my folks down here in SoFlo. We just had a hurricane, so definitely stay dry, and that goes to safety. And I hope everyone else is staying. Have a wonderful Saturday part of their day. To ensure awesomeness, I do want to give a heads up. We have a live chat box right below. Go ahead and drop your name along with the state you're representing and give a shout out. Just say whatever state or city you're representing. We want to see those awesome cities that you're in right now, staying home during COVID. We still got some TikTok left on the clock before we go ahead and enter the virtual portal of Project Recharge. This Project Recharge is phenomenal. It's virtual. We have some amazing things coming down. As folks are kind of joining in right now, we have that mobile gadget. If you have that mobile gadget beside you, raise it up, go ahead, text, call, Insta, snap that friend or loved one right now. Let them know that Islamic Relief IRUSA is about to go down with some amazing virtual projects and opportunities. This is a heads up, Islamic Relief right now. We began 25 years ago with a few hearts just like you, moved by images of poverty and suffering around the world. You guys are fueled and inspired by in those early days by the generosity. It all started with a few donors who believe that together we can make the world a better place. You already know what day it is. Today's Project Recharge, Saturday. You guys are joining in from your virtual homes. That's amazing. And we just want to know that from their sacrifice grew a worldwide network of tens and thousands of caring people who are changing the world just like you, one person at a time. That's a great thought right there. So just take a sit back, relax, and one by one, it all leads up to millions of lives that you guys reach each year. It's all by the help of our amazing volunteers, thousands of hearts. I call them hearts because they're more than just the word volunteers. They're like the backbone of Islamic Relief right there. Islamic Relief, for those that you have, for those that don't know, joined right now, first time seeing Islamic Relief webinar, welcome, welcome. We have our hearts towards you. Islamic Relief USA is actually a faith-based organization providing relief and development in over 40 countries in a dignified manner, regardless of gender, race, or religion. And we're not only that, folks, we're actually working to empower individuals to give them a voice in the world. Wow, that's some pretty amazing things. So throughout the webinar, we would love to all of you to use a magical chat box right below for any questions that you might have. And for all the we have awesome staff members, we have coordinators in every region that will actually be helping out throughout the webinar, answering your amazing questions. Like I said, thank you so much for joining. This is the Project Recharge. Send it out right now, whatever you're right now, outside. If you're watching this from the porch, just give a holla, say, yo, Project Recharge, let's start. So we'll have as many as people to join our awesome virtual stuff. And thanks for joining. As people are coming in right now, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Masuna so we can all go ahead on a journey together. So let's do this, guys. All right, Masuna, let's show them how it's done.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Farhan, for those awesome words and an amazing introduction. It's super exciting to see that folks are still joining. So we are just getting started. If you missed the intro, don't worry. We're about to get right into all the great details, inshallah. So my name is Masuna, and I'm the volunteer administrator at Islamic Relief. And so what that means is if you have an issue with your account, or maybe you're joining a deployment, you might see an email from me. I'm very much on the back end, but hopefully you've seen some emails from me. If not, you can sign up for emails today and you'll start seeing my emails, inshallah. So to give you some backstory, in March, we had to make the decision to pause all our in-person volunteer projects. And it was a challenging time for us because so much of our work is about seeing all of you face to face. We're at meal packs, packing meals together, we get deployed together. We are serving, our communities face to face. And so when all of a sudden we needed to put everything on pause, we needed to adapt. And that Ramadan, we launched our first ever Lean On Me campaign. And it was amazing because we had over 200 volunteers from across the country participate in fundraising and really supporting our communities here in the United States and abroad throughout Ramadan. And it was amazing. And it was socially distant, it was safe. And you all let us know that that was a way that you felt like volunteering. And so after that campaign, you all wanted more. So we had another Lean On Me campaign, and then another and another. And alhamdulillah, you'll find out about another Lean On Me campaign later in this program. But you still wanted a little bit more. And so we started working with some of our volunteers, our different departments at Islamic Relief, and we realized that we needed to start developing more virtual volunteer opportunities, not just Lean On Me campaigns. And that's why you're here today, because we have developed a whole bunch of amazing virtual volunteer projects, and we're really excited to share them with you, inshallah. I know a lot of folks are really sick of the virtual world. We've had a lot of Zoom meetings, we've had classes online, we've had family events online, but I kind of feel like virtual volunteering is really awesome, mashallah. What we used to do is if we had a project in your city, you could come to our project or a fundraising dinner. But if we didn't have a project in your city, or we weren't in your project, we didn't have a project every weekend, you were stuck only being able to volunteer with us once a month, maybe every 2 months. And while that's great, we want to see you, we want to see more of you. And so now with virtual volunteering, you can be anywhere and volunteer at any time. You could volunteer every day of the week. That's how many awesome volunteer projects we have. And so I know that it's tough to be in a virtual world, but this is kind of an awesome opportunity to be with us every day of the week and really make change. The more volunteers we have, the more work we're going to get done, meaning the more people we are going to be able to serve, inshallah. So just a little bit about how this webinar is going to work. As Farhan mentioned, we are going to be using the Q&A and the chat box. So if you have questions, we know that inshallah you'll have questions, ask them in the Q&A. We're going to have a Q&A session at the end to answer all of your questions. You're going to be hearing from each member of the volunteer department, and we're going to talk to you about projects from literally almost every department at Islamic Relief, which is super exciting. And so kind of pay attention, listen to these projects. You're going to be able to sign up on the spot. So you're going to see my name in the chat box throughout this whole webinar, sharing links for you to sign up on the spot. And I say that because I want you to sign up right away. If you see something that's interesting to you, sign up. If you see 3 projects that are interesting to you, sign up for all of them. You're going to see that link. It's going to take you directly there, and you're going to be able to sign up. I don't want to stress anyone out, but I think some of these projects are going to fill up pretty fast, which is why you all are the first to see this. I recommend you sign up now if you can, inshallah. If you are a brand new volunteer, you've never volunteered with Islamic Relief USA, I'm going to put a link in this chat box right here. This is how you register to volunteer. You need to be registered in order to sign up for some of these projects. So you can do that right now as I'm speaking. Go ahead and register to become a volunteer. If you're already registered, when I send you a link, it may ask you to log in. All you have to do is put in your email and password, and you scroll to the bottom of the link and hit express interest. That's it. That's all you have to do to sign up for a project. So again, make sure you're signing up if you really see something that interests you, inshallah. So I know that was a lot of information. Again, if you have questions, put it in the Q&A, keep in touch with us throughout the chat, keep an eye out for all the links I'm going to be sending you. And I really hope that you find something here today that is interesting to you, that you're passionate about, because we have a lot of really incredible projects coming up. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Ali Mir.
All righty. Thank you very much for that, Masuna. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ali Mir. I am the Southwest Regional Volunteer Coordinator, and today we got some really cool things that we wanted to talk to you about in regards to virtual volunteering opportunities. The first one that we have is with the department known as international programs. Okay, so say, hey dude, like, yo, what is international programs? Okay, so we are Islamic Relief USA. So if you see it, it says IRUSA, right? And many of us, we've attended events here in the US with Islamic Relief. However, there are really cool projects, whether it's in Pakistan, Palestine, it could be in China. Those are international projects. So we have folks who live here, for example, out of the Washington, D.C. office with the International Programs Department who help put on those events. So within that, there are 3 today that I wanted to quickly highlight, 3 virtual volunteer opportunities that you can do, inshallah ta'ala. Now, the first one here that you see is called communication support. Now, okay, think about it like this. There are people who donate money. There are organizations, there are institutions, but in this example, there are people who give money to Islamic Relief, like a lot, like super high amounts. Donors, for example. Those donors require relationships. You got to be on good terms with those individuals. We have to keep those relationships going well for an extended, for an ongoing period of time. So within communication support, you are developing certificates, you're creating letters of appreciation, thank you, interacting with people. So that's communication support, a lot of that. The second thing here, creative writing. Okay, so you're always going to hear, mashallah, you raised, which we did, Islamic Relief, the highest fundraised amount in the history of Islamic Relief for Ramadan fundraising was done by you this year in Ramadan, mashallah. Now, all of that is great, right? That data points, these types of things. However, we need to turn that data into a story. People need to know about that. Personally, for me, I don't like numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. I say, yeah, I'm a number, but other people are a number, number. So with that said, those people who aren't numbers people, they like stories. They like to read. Creative writing is a chance, is an opportunity to do that. So somebody who, if you feel that you have skills at that, or you could do that, then this could be for you, creative writing. And the last thing here is systems review, which again, we have some of the most amazing recipients, individuals that we interact with. I'll never forget this. I was in Tarboro, North Carolina. There was a man there. We had flown down there for 2 weeks and we were rebuilding his house that had been hit by Hurricane Matthew. And at the end, we were leaving, we had finished, and he happened to just show up. And when he showed up, he was crying, thanking us for what, for what Islamic Relief was doing. But nobody's going to hear that. Nobody's going to hear that unless somebody takes it, reviews that information, and then puts it into something, puts that story into what we would call a case study and document it. So that's just a little bit about those opportunities. Again, you can sign up for them today. I highly encourage you to do that because those spots are limited, just to be quite honest with you. And with that said, this is international programs. Guess what? There's also US programs, which my colleague Wasma Siddiqui will be discussing right now. So I will turn it over to Wasma.
Thank you so much, Ali. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Wasma Siddiqui. I'm the volunteer coordinator for the Midwest region. As Ali mentioned about international programs and projects for around the world, I wanted to bring it back home to the United States and US programs. So this department provides much needed community relief in our own backyard. So they are a team that plans and implements very large scale projects, as you can see in the pictures, and programs across the entire country. They're able to do this because of accurate data and reporting to ensure communities are getting the aid that they need and not just what we think they need. So for US programs, we have 3 areas where we can use support from our volunteer network, which is where all of you come in, hopefully. So the 3 areas are data entry, data analysis, and customer service. So the first one, data analysis, is as straightforward as it sounds. We need volunteers to take information from like our internal database or other reports that we have and transfer it onto a spreadsheet in an organized and neat way, and then, or do the opposite, take spreadsheets and information and plug it into our internal database. And the next opportunity I want to talk about is data analysis. So this one has a little more flexibility depending on your background, your skill set, and the project you'll be assigned to. So it involves taking the organized data that we have in our spreadsheets and translating it into something that's easily comprehensive. So it could be anything from like creating an impact analysis report, or if you're more into writing or have that background, you can write a report that highlights the important work that a project or a program is doing in a very creative way. So it's basically different ways of utilizing the data and making it more understandable. And so this also helps us discover common themes and trends. So the last opportunity I want to talk about is customer service. So this one is really, really cool because you'll be talking to our numerous partner organizations on the ground. So we have hundreds of them spread all throughout the entire country. And so if you're someone that's personable, you like connecting to people, and you like speaking to people, this is definitely the opportunity for you. When the pandemic first hit, these were so US programs and our partner organizations hit the ground running and provided all the distributions and relief aid right away. And it was because of US programs and our partner organizations. If you can see in the pictures, they provided everything from food assistance, financial aid, PPE. They even provide turkey distributions and like school kits for students that are going to school. So what you would be required to do is to have these conversations with our partner organizations and then report back on whatever information that they give you. So this gives us a broader data, and it also gives us feedback on how our programs are going and how our projects are running. So all three of these opportunities work together to help us improve our services, our effectiveness, and our efficiency in delivering aid to the right communities. So one way we're making sure we're making an impact is we look at all this data and all this information that we have to see how our projects are working and where we should focus our efforts on. So if you choose to volunteer for these opportunities, you will be making an impact directly. So the cool thing about a humanitarian organization like Islamic Relief is that when you see these numbers, they aren't just statistics, they're actual people. Every single data point is a person with a story, and their story gets a little bit better because of the aid that they're receiving, because of our organization, because of the data that we have. So I hope you all sign up for these opportunities. So I just wanted to reiterate that you will directly be helping build capacity so that we can help more people and help more communities that actually need it. So with that, I'll pass it off to Yasmin.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Wasma. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yasmin Faisal, and I'm the Mid-Atlantic Volunteer Coordinator. It feels so good to be able to be here with you all today. It's been a while, and I pray that all of you have been well. So I'm going to be presenting a couple of the positions, a couple of the opportunities that we have within our marketing department. These are not the only two opportunities that we have, but as time passes, the opportunities will continue to be to grow, and you can stay posted through our site. So the two I'll be focusing on today are our focus group and storytelling training. So how many of you have ever received an email from Islamic Relief USA? You can just go ahead and put yes or no in the chat box. Now, how many of you have received emails from IRUSA's marketing team? I'm going to take a guess and say almost all of you. How cool would it be to be a part of a team that gets to help enhance our marketing outreach to improve our engagement with our audiences, which will then in return support our ongoing humanitarian projects? How, you may ask? Well, this is our first time ever conducting focus groups within IRUSA. The main purpose of the focus groups is so that we can better understand volunteers and our respondents' attitudes, feelings, beliefs, experiences, and reactions to all of our email appeals. When we can understand our donors and subscribers better, it'll help us so that it'll help us understand how they interact with our brand. And the marketing team can then make data-informed adjustments to strategy and content to maximize engagement and revenue. If you ever participated in a focus group or moderated one, this might be a great fit for you. If you also have experience in conducting surveys, user testing, leadership positions, this might also be right up your alley. So you can go ahead and click on the link and sign up. Space is limited for some of these, but don't let that steer you away. Please still go ahead and sign up. And then we also have a really cool opportunity that is where we're looking for a professional that can lead a fun and engaging training in creative writing and creative storytelling to our marketing staff. If we think about it, our understanding of the world is defined by the stories that we hear. Stories shape how others relate to our mission, are inspired by our work, and are moved to action. This will be an opportunity for staff to further develop their written storytelling from a marketing angle, from email appeals to ads, case studies, and more. So this will be an opportunity for our volunteers to kind of take their expertise and create a training to lead our marketing team. So if you have skills in marketing, creative writing, creative storytelling, this might be a great fit for you. If you have any questions and you want to get a little more in depth with it, you can email me, and I would love, we can work on it together. But I look forward to working with our volunteers on these opportunities, inshallah, so that we can increase our impact on bringing aid and relief to some of our most vulnerable communities. With that said, I'll now pass it over to our awesome coordinator, Farhan.
Already, awesome. I'm just tuned in right now. Coordinators, my staff are giving like all this amazing stuff. I'm like, wow, all this stuff is like it's how you can literally stay home and save lives. I'm like, wow, that's just amazing right there. So this is the part. So guys, if you want to really know how you can stay home and save lives, type in the chat box, no way, tell me how. And I'll tell you how. This is how the magic happens, right? So I'm gonna let you on a little secret. So have you all wanted to empower millions of lives across the world, amplifying the voice of those actually in need? Well, if so, if you said yes in the chat box below, you found the perfect online outline. Ding, 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 blog writing. And we need your help to create a world free of poverty where everyone has an opportunity to build a better life. It's all the words, through the power of words, that's how we communicate. And that's how you guys got our email to join this exciting webinar. Words are singularly the most powerful force available to humanity. And that's why the comms department here at Islamic Relief IRUSA needs inspiring volunteers for blog writing. With that being said, folks, I just want to recap. So the comms department at Islamic Relief, we actually began our relief lab some years ago with attention basically ensuring our volunteers, our donors, our supporters, our stakeholders stay abreast of what's actually taking place within our own humanitarian efforts. Some of our actually recent blogs highlight our work such as service work, right? How we can't still look away with the risk of COVID still present at our own doorsteps. Or how about Worldwide Food Day, right? How about empowerment? Day of Dignity just began right now. And for decades, we've been partnering with communities, organizations, bringing resources, supplies, meals, and non-perishable to the places that need them the most, all through blog writing. Talk about social justice, right? The right to vote. We got Black History Remembered. Or how about World Poverty Day? Blogging about what we can do to all mitigate suffering, as Islamic Relief right now is taking every waking hour dedicated to its time in reducing poverty or even community, caring for climate change. We have so many options out there, or share your own personal story to make a huge impact. Once you do blog writing, the effort, the impact goes a long way. Tell that to a mother in Syria who has a bag of rice to cook for herself and for her starving children because you decided to write a blog on the power of giving, which is now basically viewed by thousands of people who visited Islamic Relief's blog website, which is and donated to that cause. Tell that to a father in Pakistan who has a roof over his head after you wanted to help by picking up that pen and letting that virtual ink tell a story of the projects that motivated someone across the world to read your story and actually take action, right? It's because of the efforts that you will help us with. And what about a child with no parents in Africa? For once, we can actually give a smile to their face, right? That's the least we can do. What about a little girl looking for a blanket to keep herself warm during the harsh winters, in the giving time to actually convert? It's your time to actually convert those alphabet letters of love to providing channels of hope for all. So let it be a reminder to hold on to our faith, and we can all be resilient, actually picking up that pen and blog writing what really matters to you so we can make a difference. So with that being said, we really need volunteers to be the vehicle for community growth. So join our blogosphere to help us share the many heartwarming stories. We have persistent issues. We have interesting ideas that we come across in our work, and it can never be done with our volunteers. If you're thinking like, wow, blog writing, like how does this really affect the world and change the world? I got a simple answer. So tune in, right? This is how it goes. Because our stories can basically bond us, right? It's our stories that can actually create empathy across beyond borders. It's a story that can take a reader off his or her sofa and take them on an adventure across the world and actually show them that is the main impact that we have. So together we can do this. So going back to MLK's quote right now, if you want to change the world, pick up your pen and write. We got the link right down here. Just go to relieflab.irusa.org. Check out our blogs, and hope inshallah you can join us soon. Sign up right now. The volunteer link is there. Sign up for the opportunity. We really need more volunteers dedicated to this cause, inshallah. I want to pass that on to our amazing volunteer coordinator, Dima, to take it a step more.
Thank you so much, Farhan. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Again, my name is Dima Akash, and I am the Northeast Regional Volunteer Coordinator for Islamic Relief. I would like to thank you all for joining us today. And I'm really happy actually to see there are a lot of familiar names that I see who are attending our webinar, alhamdulillah. And, I just want to let you all know that I really do miss working closely with our volunteers. And, even though we don't have, any in-person activities at the moment, I'm really excited to share this virtual volunteer opportunity that I have for you all. So our fund development department, or you can say our fundraising department. So if you ask me what do you mean fundraising, they are the team who claim themselves to be the coolest department because, they describe themselves as the ones who bring all the money. So again, they reached out to us because they wanted the help of volunteers to help with finding potential partners. And what I mean by that is, researching different masajids, Islamic centers, Muslim student associations, Muslim professional groups like MUPPIs and camps. And what we want to know, what we want to collect from these potential partners is, their point of contact. We want to know what in-person activities that they have, or if they have any virtual events or webinars that we can either be part of, or, we can collaborate with these potential partners on, raising funds and doing projects together. What we also want to know from these partners is, for example, you have an Islamic center that might have a food pantry or a soup kitchen, or they might have a regular food distribution. So we would love to know what kind of activities, what kind of service projects that they have that they are supporting their own community. And in this way, we can, either, support these activities that they are providing for for their communities and sponsor them. The thing is, I know I hear you can see the map of Northeast map. So see, if only from the Northeast, we have over 400 massajids, mashallah. And it's really hard for us to keep up with, knowing what kind of activities that these massajids might have. So, and at the same time, not all of them are really, active on Facebook or active, on or post on their website what kind of, work that they do. So we would love to have volunteers who can, get that information for us. Again, this will be very, very helpful for us to get this information to increase our network and be able to raise more funds, inshallah. Another list that we are also hoping to have volunteers help us with is updating and improving also our finding businesses that have matching gift programs. And for those of you who are not much familiar with matching gift program, I can give you an example. So imagine a donor who is also an employee at a company, and that donor wants to give a contribution or donation to their favorite nonprofit organization. Let's say it's Islamic Relief. So once they give that donation, they can also at the same time send a request to the company that they work for to match their gift. So what the company does is that they will see if this Islamic Relief is a legit organization, and once they realize that, they will also again, if they have the matching gift program, they will send a donation to Islamic Relief. And there are many other organizations like corporations who would be willing to either double or triple the amount of their employees' donation. So imagine how amazing if we can have that kind of information, and just knowing, the matching gift programs that these companies have is just the beginning. This is really going to help us, having that list is really going to help us with increasing our opportunities in, receiving more corporate donations, in being able to get more sponsorships, or being able to get more corporate volunteers. So again, it will be really amazing to have volunteers who, can help us raise funds for orphans, who can help us raise funds for, countries that need emergency assistance. So imagine how awesome it will be to be part of that, to be part of, helping us, raise funds to to help those people in need. So, you know, I really hope, I mean, I find this a very exciting opportunity. I really hope, you know, I see our volunteers sign up. And again, for now, once you, I'm pretty sure like we have the link already in the chat box. So, I mean, you will see that this opportunity is more specific to the Northeast. But inshallah, what we're planning on doing is having this, you know, this volunteer opportunity spread all over, the rest of the regions. And we want volunteers, you know, to reach out to us and you know, let me know if you are interested in doing this kind of research. So I would be happy to be working with you all with that, inshallah. So I'm going to stop right for now, and inshallah, I will like to, you know, give it back to our amazing volunteer administrator, Masuna.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me? All right, awesome. So hopefully you can see this. If you have not found a volunteer opportunity that sounds exciting for you just yet, hopefully you will find something now. We're kind of nearing the last couple of opportunities. They're all super exciting. I saw some questions about folks who are asking if they can sign up for more than one. Absolutely, sign up for as many as you want, however much time you have, however much time you're willing to work with us, inshallah. Sign up for whatever sounds interesting. So this next one should be familiar to some folks. Can I see in the chat box who has participated in a Lean On Me campaign already? Anybody? Woohoo. Okay, that's what I thought. So a lot of folks hopefully have participated in one of our Lean On Me campaigns. As I mentioned in the beginning, we've done this now a couple of times. So hopefully you're familiar with it. If you have done the Lean On Me campaign for any of our other projects, this is going to be very similar. We have a event happening in mid-December for Palestine. And so this is a really important fundraiser for us. And this is an opportunity for you to really support the people of Palestine. So what you can do is go to irusa.org/leanonme. And I'll go ahead and put that in the chat box as well for you to go ahead and create a page. So if you're someone that already knows how to work our system, you've done this many times now, you've been a participant of the Lean On Me campaigns, you can get started right away. The information is there, the pages are ready. And just like any other time, you are more than welcome to just go ahead and send us an email if you have any questions. If you are someone that's maybe a little newer to this might be your first Lean On Me campaign, no problem. We're gonna have 2 info sessions next week. And what we do on those info sessions, we tell you more about the project, we tell you about the campaign, we tell you about how you can help, because all you're gonna have to do is create a page, share it with your family and friends. It's already populated with all the information, and you spread it with your family and friends, inshallah. I see some questions. We'll go ahead and address those in the Q&A, hopefully, and I'll go ahead in the chat box with the link. But again, if you're familiar with Lean On Me, this is very similar. But we hope that you will be able to participate, inshallah, and more info to come on this. The next thing I want to mention is something really exciting. We are having a volunteer survey, okay? And so this volunteer survey is something that we've been working on for a little while now. One of the companies who has helped build different volunteer systems for groups like the Red Cross, for Save the Children, Special Olympics, they're now working with Islamic Relief USA. So this is like a big name opportunity for us. We're super excited, and they're trying to help us as Islamic Relief kind of go to the next level in terms of our volunteer management, our strategies, our engagement, and all the projects that we do. So this survey is going to be that first step in kind of assessing where we're at today, right? Where are we as a volunteer department? Where are we as a volunteer team with all of you? And again, we want to be able to improve. So when you hear of surveys, I know most people are not that excited because maybe it was at the end of a not so great customer service call. This is hopefully not that kind of survey. This is a little bit more exciting because it's an opportunity for you to tell us everything that you've ever experienced about volunteering with Islamic Relief USA. So again, it'll just take a few minutes of your time. We're going to be sending out the link for this in a couple of days. So you should keep an eye out for this around Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to send this link out, and we need as many volunteers as possible to respond to this survey. It's going to be really helpful for us. Without this survey, we're not going to know where we're at. And if we don't know where we are, it's going to be really hard for us to know where to go from here. And so we're continuously growing and improving, and we want your feedback to make that happen. And so it's really, really crucial that we get your feedback. So please don't swipe this survey away. Don't put it, don't delete it. We really want you to look at this. It won't take much of your time. And again, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, but go ahead and keep an eye out for that email, inshallah, because the future of the volunteer department depends on it. So we'd really appreciate if you do that. So that's one more thing that you can do to help us out and to volunteer. Then the last thing that I want to share with you before we go on to our kind of like next segment are these events. So let's say after everything we've shared with you, you still haven't quite found something that you want to volunteer with, or you're really busy for the next month or two. I get it. Thanksgiving's coming up, finals, there's a lot going on. At the very least, there's a way that you can help. We have these 3 events coming up. And what you'll see are these flyers in your inbox at the end of this, inshallah. I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have all these flyers. Go to irusa.org/events and read about each one of these events if you can. These are events that you can attend. Yes, you attending is helping us out a lot. You spreading the flyer with a family or a friend, just sharing it on your social media makes a huge impact on the success of these events. Promise for Pakistan is coming up. Really, it's right around the corner, so we need your help on that. And then we have these orphan projects. They're both related to MASS, but they have separate goals. And unfortunately, due to COVID, a lot of our orphan sponsorships have been dropped or readjusted, or people can no longer sponsor some of the orphans in our system. And so this is a campaign that we're running to hopefully re-sponsor those orphans and make sure that they get the funding that they need. So it's a really important program. Again, if you aren't necessarily available to volunteer for some of the things that we've shared, this is another great way that you can support and volunteer. So go ahead and share this information with friends and family, or participate if you can. And again, we'll summarize this info and send it to you in an email, inshallah. So that was a lot of amazing information. Hopefully you found a ton of projects that you're super interested in. And again, we'll kind of talk about it at the end. I'll send some links if anybody needs them. But what we're gonna do now is take a step back. We're gonna take a breather. We're gonna process this information, and we are gonna hand it off to Yasmin.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Masuna. That was all like amazing information. So like you said, it was quite a bit to kind of take in. And so we kind of wanted to do something different with you all in this webinar, and we wanted to like incorporate kind of like a wellness segment into this. So I think it's safe to say that this year has taken a toll on all of us. It has been an intense year, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically. And we wanted to incorporate something where we can check in with our volunteers and see how you all are actually doing. I want to actually start off by doing a little quick activity where I want everyone to close their eyes and just take a second to center your breath. I know some of us may have had a hectic morning already. We may have ran some errands, did some house chores. Maybe we had work that we were trying to get done, whatever it may be. Sometimes we'll find ourselves a little scatter-minded and rushing from one thing to the next, and don't even realize that we just need a second to catch our breath and press pause. So I like to kind of put my hand over my heart. You can go ahead, hopefully your eyes are closed, and take a deep breath in and kind of like hold it for a couple of seconds. And then exhale. And then we can do it one more time. Inhale and hold for a few seconds, and then exhale once again. And now you can open your eyes. Hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed and centered now. When it comes to the topic of volunteering, there's one part of the equation that never really gets talked about, and that is how it impacts those that are actually carrying out the acts of services and what it does for their mental health. There was a study that was published this year actually in the Journal of Happiness Studies, and researchers had examined data from nearly 70,000 people in the UK. And they answered survey questions about their volunteering habits, their mental health, the level of distress and functioning in their everyday life. And they did this every 2 years from 1996 to 2014. Compared to the people who didn't volunteer, people who had were more satisfied with their lives and rated their overall health as much better. And the more frequent they volunteered, like, once or twice a month, they reported better mental health than those who volunteered less frequently. So does volunteering make people happy, or do happy people volunteer? I'm going to kind of go over a few interesting facts about the positive side effects of volunteering. Number one, it helps individuals find a sense of purpose. When people volunteer, they are getting to choose the causes that mean the most to them with no monetary compensation. They get to choose something out of passion and something they feel a connection to. Volunteering is also an amazing stress reduction, and it helps you forget your own problems. It helps with overthinking and being so focused and zoomed in our own personal bubbles. Volunteering also connects you with other people. It strengthens ties with that community and broadens your support network. You get to meet people who are just like you, share similar interests, and you build lifelong relationships and friendships. It also opens doors to meet a diverse group of people you normally wouldn't have met. It's also, I thought it was actually kind of cool, like volunteer actually helps build confidence and self-esteem. If you're someone who's naturally shy, this helps kind of get out of your comfort zone and helps to build a sense of identity, which boosts your confidence, which will pour into how you show up in other areas of your life. There was a campaign called Campaign to End Loneliness that says up to close to 45% of people living in the US and the UK admit to feeling lonely. On top of that, 1 in 10 adults report that they have actually no close friends. And I thought that was like really, it made me really sad. And loneliness and social isolation are two of the most severe epidemics in the world today. Volunteering isn't just important for your mental well-being, but also for your physical health, which are interconnected. Those who volunteer might benefit from lower blood pressure and longer lifespan. There was a study that showed that high volunteers, meaning those who volunteer for 2 or more organizations, had a 63% lower mortality rate than those that didn't volunteer. More recent studies found that adults over 50 who volunteered regularly were less likely to develop high blood pressure and hypertension compared to those that didn't volunteer. There was another study that had about a little over 3,000 adults, and 25% said that volunteering had been a critical component to managing a chronic health condition. I thought that was pretty amazing. So can y'all think of people in your own life who suffer from different health ailments? Doesn't it make sense or make you think, how would it help or impact them if we got them to become volunteers? Volunteering also helps tremendously with combating mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, which more than a third of Americans deal with. Volunteering helps to counteract the effects of stress, depression, anxiety, due to the contact aspect of helping others, which contributes to overall psychological well-being. The regular contact with other people helps you develop solid support systems, which then helps deal with feelings of loneliness and depression. Volunteering, this is a couple of extra facts. Volunteering can also help prisoners who make up the largest demographic of mental illness in North America. It is estimated that more than 50% of inmates in the US have some form of mental illness. There are programs like Pause for Life that allow incarcerated individuals to train shelter dogs, for example. Some of the prison officials have said that the inmates have become a lot more calmer, and that it's helped them with recovery and different programs that they're a part of. Similar programs are also available for war veterans who are trying to recover from PTSD, and they also have different programs like that where they can work at animal shelters. With us having to mobilize with virtual volunteering and it being somewhat new, there still hasn't been that much research done to directly compare virtual volunteering to traditional in-person, but it's suspected that it still remains that remote volunteering opportunities are likely to also benefit well-being. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed or out of sorts lately, so many of us have, volunteering can be a way to help bring you a sense of control in a stressful situation. I hope that something I shared resonated. I know that was kind of a lot, but I hope something resonated and it might inspire you to do some further research on the connection between volunteering and our mental well-being. And so that kind of wraps up my wellness segment for today, and I will be passing it over to Ollie now.
Awesome, fantastic, Yasmin. That just totally calmed me down and brought me right back to ease. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Alrighty, folks, so check it out. You see that slide right there? It says, any questions? So I have been seeing folks posting questions in the chat box there. There's also a place here where you can put your question into what I guess you could say a question tab. and we will get your questions here. We can answer any questions that you may have. And also, what I wanted to say, inshallah ta'ala, is Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you to everybody that tuned in today, that came here. Thank you for coming out here today and doing this. And again, if you have questions, we'll take those questions right now, inshallah. And then we can go from there. Okay, folks, there's actually, okay, man, mashallah, there are a lot of beautiful things that we need to say here. Okay, so a question here that we have, and by the way, I could pass this on to, I think, Farhan, for example, I had things about blog writing, or whoever may want to address this. Saida is asking, I'm a little confused about the blog writing requirements. What do we have to write about in 300 to 500 words? So it seems like there's the blog writing, virtual volunteering opportunity there, and there's a specific requirement. So want to address that, brother?
Awesome, no worries. Thanks so much, Brother Ali. Yeah, Saida, thanks so much for your question. So what we're asking is basically actually for you to submit a writing sample. Just for 300 to 500 words. It can be on any type of topic you like. We're not really restricted that you have to write on a certain topic. Just a writing sample. So pour your heart out, whatever you feel like you want to go ahead and just virtually type in. Inshallah, it'll definitely help, and just send it. I'll post my email in the chat box again. You can reach out to me and we can go from there, inshallah.
All righty. Thank you very much, good sir. Okay, question here from Iftikhar. Iftikhar is asking, what's happening with Hyderabad, India floods? Is IRUSA involved? Masuna.
Sure. So great question. We actually had launched an emergency campaign when the flooding had started. And one of the things that we did specifically for volunteers, we launched one of those Lean On Me campaigns. And so if that's something that you're still interested in participating in, it's not still on the website because we just launched this new Lean On Me campaign, but it's definitely something you can still help us out with. And so if you send me an email, my email has been in the chat box, also put it up in a slide. It's definitely something that you can still help out with, inshallah.
All righty, cool. And there is a question here. How do I know that I'm confirmed to sign up? Just the email confirmation. Yasmin, what do you think about that?
Yes, that's exactly right. Once you sign up for the volunteer opportunity, you will receive an email in your inbox giving you all the information in the details. So you should look out for that email.
Okay. Alrighty, nice. So question we have here from Brother Khalid is, what are the different venues to volunteer and how do we join? Okay, so I am understanding your question as what are the different volunteer opportunities and how do we sign up for that? So yeah, there's the chat box here. It says Zoom webinar chat. If you look at that chat panel, there is a link to each opportunity. So if you just scroll up, you can see it there, or we're gonna actually be posting a link to all of the opportunities. Let's do that. Let's just do that right now. So inshallah, to answer your question, Brother Khalid, what are the different ways to volunteer and how do we join? So each of the coordinators, we just described some of the different virtual volunteering opportunities. We're going to put the links to those, inshallah ta'ala, in the chat box here. So next question that we got is, are there any non-virtual opportunities? I would love to answer this question, but you know what? I'm gonna do a behind the back pass to one of my colleagues. I'll pass it to Wasma. Are there any non-virtual volunteer opportunities? It's interesting that we phrase it like that now, like that's the norm. The norm is virtual. Okay. Anyways, Wasma, are there any physical on-site volunteer opportunities?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for the question, actually, because I know there's a lot of like confusion going around during this time and because of the pandemic. But unfortunately, we do not have any in-person volunteer opportunities right now, especially because the pandemic seems to be getting worse in some areas, and we really do not want to risk anyone's health. Like maybe you might not get sick, but maybe you might be asymptomatic and give it to someone else. So we really don't want to risk something like that because you are coming with good intentions to help people, right? So this is why we came up with these virtual volunteering opportunities so that you can stay safe, you can stay home and still have like a significant impact and still improve the lives of people that need it. So to answer your question, no, we don't have any in-person opportunities right now, but we are keeping a close eye on the pandemic to see if like things calm down to the point where we feel comfortable enough to go back to the field, then we will do so. But for right now, we have these virtual opportunities that we've mentioned.
Awesome. And thank you for saying that, Wasma, because folks, look, sign up for the project or for the projects like ASAP, inshallah, like sign up. The links are there. They're put up in the chat box. You can see it posted. I think it's a Zoom web chat. So right there, you can click those links and sign up. Also, we're going to be sending a follow-up email, and you're going to get a summary of what we talked about, what you heard, what you saw today. You're going to get that. You're going to get the recording and any other important links that we want to give you and keep you in the loop with, especially about the things that we talked about, anything that you may need. Okay, so with that said, questions, please, please, please ask your questions, ask away. Okay, so is there, okay, oh, nice question. Is there a limit on how many opportunities we can sign up for? I'm sorry if you did address this question, but I missed it. You don't gotta apologize. We did not address that at all. For those that don't know, the question is there a limit on how many opportunities we can sign up for? So I'm gonna pass it over to Masuna to get us some more information on this. Is there a limit on how many opportunities we can sign up for?
Nope. We want you to sign up for whatever interests you, however many things you want to do. I mean, this is up to you. If you are available every day of every week for 5 hours, let's do that. Let's find enough projects for you that fill up that, all 5 hours. So this is totally up to you. A lot of these projects are really flexible. When you're expressing interest, you can totally reach out to the coordinator on that project and say, hey, is this something I can do with only 3 hours a week? Is this something I can do with 10 hours a week? If you feel like you don't necessarily have time, but you really are interested, sign up and email somebody and we'll let you know. We'll work with you. These are very flexible. It's a virtual world. And that's one of the beautiful things about all of these projects. So sign up for as many things as you find interesting, inshallah.
Awesome. I love it. MashaAllah. Folks, look, if you have questions, put the questions in the chat right now. Like you could just put the questions in the chat, or there's this the Q&A little tab here. Okay, Beth, will blogging continue past December, or is it only a short-term activity? Farhan, my blogging expert, what is good?
Blogging, all right, Beth. Yeah, we don't want to say it's short-term because definitely we can use all the help. So it's going to definitely roll out even past December. So don't feel pressurized or stressed out that you have a certain time that you have to really respond and get those blogs out there to change the world. We have enough time for that. So definitely, yeah, it's more past December. So surprise us with your beautiful ideas at Islamic Relief.
All righty, nice. Thank you for answering that, Farhan, and thank you for your question, Beth. And speaking of questions, we are still looking forward to your wonderful questions, and what I want you to look forward to is your email. Because guess what? Inshallah ta'ala, God willing, in your email, what you will see is the survey that Masuna had mentioned earlier, okay? So you're gonna see this survey and we wanna hear from you. So once that email comes and you see that survey, take the survey, inshallah, be honest, It's just you. I'm not going to know what you said. Don't worry. I'm not going to be offended if you're going to say, you know, Brother Ali, I didn't appreciate that you shouted out the Lakers in the chat box. Okay, no, but seriously, take the survey, inshallah ta'ala. We would love to hear from you. And that will be in the email. Also, like, I'm just super excited to see that every single one of you, mashallah, just as God will, rolled out today and attended this. So from me on my end, that is that. If you have questions, kindly put it in the question and answer. And oh yes, here we go. These are our individual emails. So for each of your respective areas, you have the position, for example, Northeast Regional Volunteer Coordinator. Then you have Dima Akash, and the email is there for you to use to contact. So go ahead and write that down, inshallah ta'ala. Masuna, anything you want to add here?
Thank you so much, everyone. This has been a really exciting launch for us to show all of you all of these beautiful and really exciting virtual volunteer opportunities. I sent the link for you if you needed kind of that like summary page of all the things that we shared with you. I know there was a lot. I know we have a couple different things that have the word data in it and reporting and things like that, but they're a little different. So like if you need to take your time and you got to read through each one, do what you got to do, sign up for what you can. We hope that you will sign up for really anything that inspires you, motivates you, and in any way you feel like giving back to us and to the people we serve, inshallah. So we thank you for taking this time. We hope that you enjoy this experience. And like Ali said, go ahead and keep an eye on your email after this. We'll send you kind of a summary of all of this. We'll send you the recording. We'll send these links again, just in case you lost them. Make sure you sign up again, because once we start rolling this out to everyone in our volunteer base over the next week, these things will fill up. So you all are getting that first pick. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We love your emails. We love to hear from you. All of these volunteer coordinators are super, super friendly. Hopefully you've met some of them in person. If not, I pray, inshallah, one day in the future, you will meet them in person, because these folks are amazing. And this is a really wonderful opportunity, inshallah. So if anybody doesn't have any other questions, it looks like we answered most of those questions. I see, yes, the recording will come. I promise we will send that recording. If you don't get the recording, if you don't get the email I'm talking about, just email me. Email any one of us. If you're not sure who to email, just email someone. We'll get it to you. Keep in touch. It's a virtual world. I know it's hard, but we will keep in touch with you, inshallah. And we look forward to working with you on all these amazing projects, inshallah. So we hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day and rest of your weekend. And we'll see you at the next one, inshallah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.